This is Brownie's Podcast!
Welcome to Brownie's Podcast. I'm still in LA. John and Pomeroy are in the studio in Melbourne. And then I look down to the screen and some wanker is wearing a fedora and shades. Campbell Brown!
That's me, baby. I'm up here on the Gold Coast. I've got a golf day today. You know how much I love my golf. I don't have a handicap, and it's Ambrose. So it's very important that we take best ball, and it's not usually mine.
You still have to take 3 tee shots. What's your tee shot like, Brown Dog? That's important.
Hit and miss. Sometimes it's straight down the middle in the mayor's office, and sometimes we don't even bother looking for the ball, JB.
Well, good to see, Deano. It looks like you're on fire. I'm here in Melbourne with Brodes, as you see. He's looking big. He's got bigger pipes. Those pipes are even showing through his hoodie at the moment. I've got little Jackie Brown with me. We've got the weekend, a boys' weekend today. We just went and had coffee across the road. I had an egg and bacon sandwich and a coffee. I asked Jack, what do you want for breakfast? He said, cookie with Smarties on it. And I said, mate, you can't have that for brekkie. He goes, come on, Dad, it's a boys' weekend. Hey, Mum's not going to know. Well, that's a fair point. So we've started the day off well, little Jackie Brown. So we'll get him on later on to tell a little story about Pop Bizza. His grandfather and my dad has got himself into a bit of mischief again.
Oh, no. Hey, now, Deano, you won awards. You went over to LA for a junket, and you were nominated for some awards, and you won them for Childish Deano. Tell us about it.
We got best writing and best comedy in this film festival, right? And we won a computer as well for best visual effects for the animation. So we left the joint with all these brick statues, but they also gave us the computer on the night. So we're like, what the fuck do we do with this computer?
Did you have to do a speech?
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was wild. It was like a Q&A.
Who did you thank? Did you give a Matthew McConaughey sort of speech about, every day I wake up, I got 3 things in my life, something to look forward to, something to look up to, and someone to chase. Did you give one of those inspiring ones?
I thanked Chris Lewis from the West Coast Eagles. I thanked Brody Pomeroy, and that's it, actually. Just those 2.
You didn't give us a mention, though. Brownie's podcast not big over there, Dino.
Not one mention. But, I did show a Vegas showgirl your Men of All Seasons calendar, dog.
Oh.
And as I was doing it, I was like, why am I doing this? You look hot in it. Why do I just want to hear this random chick compliment you as you zoom down to your crutch there? But mate, people were very aroused by your photo. I will say that.
Hey, I'm an arousing guy.
Hey, real quick, tell me everything that's happening in footy. So the Tassie Devils thing, I misunderstood last week. So they start next year. Is that right?
I don't know if they're called the Tassie Devils. I saw a interesting nickname thrown up, the Tassie Pirates. I actually like the Pirates. They're obviously seaborn. They're separate to the mainland, but I don't mind that, so that'll come in time. But our man, our own headline maker, Campbell Brown, he's got back page of the Herald Sun today, and then he's got a big full-page spread about how he's come out and said Nathan Buckley, actually, get Buckley for 19th club. Our man Brown Dog declared. And it was headlines in the Herald Sun. His logic was that even though Bucks doesn't want to coach for a few years, he's the perfect man for Tasmania as the Tasmanian coach when they enter the competition in 2028. Now, Dino, I was shocked by that because I thought that Nathan Buckley would be taking our man Campbell Brown's spot on Brownie's podcast.
If I can get him a coaching job down in Tassie, my job's safe.
You are protecting your own nest, dog. That's what it is. There's strategy behind this all.
You've got to, mate. You've got to. And Glenn McFarlane called me a couple of days ago and basically just obviously a momentous occasion for the AFL with the 19th licence. And it'd be derelict in the AFL's duty not to lean on people that were at the Gold Coast and people that were at GWS, players, coaches, admin staff, whatever it might be, and learn the mistakes, the stuff that worked, the stuff that didn't work, and try and implement it down in Tasmania because the blueprint is there now, and you can take a bit of what GWS did and a bit of the Gold Coast and a bit of, the way it was marketed and everything, and try and build that club really well from day dot.
Now, Deano, that is the same the exact same tripe that he rolled out on Brownie's podcast on Monday, yet there was no acknowledgement of it in the papers. So he's held that one critical detail back about Nathan Buckley to coach Tasmania, which was a headline grabber. Now, Dog, what are you doing? You've got to bring your A-grade material to this podcast first.
Yeah, I know. I should have. To be honest with you, it just came into my mind mid-interview.
So
he would be perfect, though, don't you reckon? I just sent him a text message, Bucks. He hasn't written back.
Mate, there's no way that man should go back to coaching. He's never looked happier. He looks like a human being now he's not a coach. Why the would he want to go back into that high-stress environment?
They all get sucked back into it. To the competitive nature, the juices start flowing again. You know, look at Rossi Lyon. He's ready to rock and roll again. Look at Brad Scott.
Is he doing more than yoga, Deano? Like, because that man is a specimen. He's magnificent. He must do more than yoga, because I keep asking him, he keeps saying yoga. I'm tossing out there, he's on testosterone.
I was going to say, are you ruling out steroids, anabolic?
Well, maybe at least HGH. I'm not sure. He's got to be on some sort of supplementation program. Now, I'm no expert on this, Deano, but what are your thoughts from the outside, just looking at that marvel?
Well, no, hey, what you need to say, Brownie, is Nathan Buckley is on HGH. We want a headline, so I want you to make a commanding statement right now.
Well, I'm going to see Bucks tonight. I can't do that. He might be happy. Because then he'll get phone calls from all the journos saying Brownie's podcast declared that you're on drugs.
I really don't know, hey, but he's got the physique of a 28-year-old. That son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that, though. The other night we were getting changed in the wardrobe room, the green room, and he had a little bit of acne on his shoulders. So maybe there is something going on there.
Wait, so does everyone get changed in front of everyone? So you see Gary with the chest out, you see Bucks with the chest out, you saw Rui last year with the chest out.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well, Rui fully waxes too.
Fully waxed.
So he was very proud walking around the green room. Don't worry about that. In pretty good nick. Spends a lot of time on his physique and makes sure he's fully waxed all the time.
Hey, have you heard from Rui in Montana, JB?
He's in Texas. He's not an extra on Yellowstone, Deano. He's having a good time over there. He's involved in a business. And eventually he'll come back, I'm sure, but he's loving it over there. You know, he married into a family that owns a ranch. So he's a smart man. He's a smart man when it comes to those sorts of things. So he might not come back. If you're in a family with a ranch, your in-laws own that, he is the real Kevin Costner.
Wouldn't he be the perfect person in 2028 when the Tasmanian team comes into effect to be, the football manager or be on the board or be the president? Wouldn't he be, as a Tasmanian, wouldn't he be the perfect person for it?
I've got no doubt he'll probably be on the board at some level, might be their footy director. So you tossed up a good one. Brendan Gale, Brown Dog, could potentially go down and run that for the AFL, get it all set up. I'm sure Nick Rewalt will have an involvement because he was on the task force to help get a Tasmanian team up and going. And then Nathan Buckley might be the coach. But I'd love to see Bucks come back. Brown Dog, I think the competitive juices, I think he'll be a better coach second time round. Mind you, he only missed out in the premiership by 2 points with a lucky kick from your boy Dom Sheed, Deano.
I've got one more name that I think the Tasmanian team needs. We've mentioned Bucks, we've mentioned Rui, we've mentioned Brendan Gale. It is Ricky Nixon. They need Ricky Nixon to really take this team to the next level.
Smart, mate. Very, very smart.
Did you see the meme doing the rounds that they should call them the Tasmanian Trouts?
No.
Don't mind that.
Yeah, I think it was after a incriminating bit of vision that was doing the rounds earlier in the year.
Oh, yes,
yeah. We don't need to talk about that anymore. That's it. That's done with.
Well, Ricky Nixon, he could be the list manager potentially. He used to be a player manager, as we know. And the new man that'll be in charge or overseeing it, the big dog, Andrew Dillon. What do you think about that? Andrew Dillon, he was probably the person that blacklisted you from that function in Adelaide, Brown Dog, when you were vaping. I'm pretty sure Dills was in the room, so I had a beer with him that night, and may have looked over and didn't look too kindly on your vaping.
I've got to be careful what I say now that, Vapegate, grew a leg of its own. I think he's a terrific appointment. He's in the Carbine Club with you and I, JB. So
he's in that weird.
He's in that big tick, mate. So he was always getting the job. Don't worry about that.
He's in that strange sex cult that you guys are all in. I'm out. I am out.
I got inducted there last week, and there's a heap of swings around, Deano. It's crazy. Big Mel Brown was on a swing. When you walk in, he just welcomed me in front of the club.
Is it a blood oath? Do you have to cut your hand, or do you prick it with a needle? Do you have to swear on St. Mary, the whole mafia
There's a blood oath. There's a blood oath, mate. Blood in, blood out, like a bikie gang. The thing is, right, I know that the AFL, from the outside looking in, they always seem to cop a little bit of flack about it being a boys' club and a $1 million new CEO search, and they found the bloke in the office next door, all that sort of stuff. But the thing is, Andrew Dillon's been at the AFL as their legal representative for the best part of 25 years, JB. So there hasn't been a decision that has been made at AFL House in the past 2.5 decades that he hasn't had his fingers across. He knows that place inside and out better than probably anyone. And so he's a perfect appointment as far as I'm concerned. And he's a ripping bloke, and he loves footy, and he's highly credentialed. So I thought it was good. It was a good appointment.
It feels like he wasn't the first, second, third, or fourth choice to me.
He was up there. It was up there, no doubt about it. I think there was a late run for the I can't remember the female lady. Was it Wheeler?
Yeah, Christy Wheeler Brown or something, was it?
She's an actor.
She's an actor.
That's the chick. That's the chick off the Broadway.
Yeah, she's off Broadway.
It's a good
I don't
try,
think she was running to be the CEO of the AFL.
Can someone turn Brody's mic off, please? That was a horrendous contribution.
But she was is it Kylie Wheeler? She was a very good candidate. Kylie Wheeler eventually got there. She was a very good candidate. But I think Andrew Dillon was always in the box seat. As you said, 2IC. A different personality to Gill, but he'll be fantastic. He's a ripping bloke. I agree, Brown Dog. He'll be great for the organisation.
It is going to be sad because Gillen has that James Bond, Sean Connery energy. And you know what? People love that he's the CEO of our brand.
He's got
and the
charisma.
CEO of oh, my God. He's up there. And women are physically throwing themselves at Gill because he's just so handsome.
Are they, mate? Are they really? Yeah. What women are you talking about? Have you seen this, Jonathan? Women throwing themselves at Gill?
No. It's another one of Brody's fantasies.
Yes.
Look, it went Nerdburger, cool guy. We can't have another cool guy in a row. This guy will be a Nerdburger, but hey, who gives a shit? Are there any other important, spicy stories happening in the footy world?
I want to know about you, Deano. I want to know about you in LA. Just give me one of your best.
Well, I'll tell you a story straight after the ads. We'll play the ads, but before we go to the ads, put the headphones on your son.
There's a bit of a rivalry building between Christian Petrarca's booking and Cameron Zurhaar. I believe that they're both great chefs and cooks in their own right, and some words were said Saturday night pre-game about who was the better cook, and it's just ruffled a few chefs' feathers.
I could not care less about that story, Campbell.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up, dog.
Nothing to do with anything.
All right, Jackie Brown, Has your dad bought you a bottle of Prime yet? Yes or no? The Logan Paul drink.
He's only bought me about one. That was the blue raspberry, but I really want to try the lemon lime.
Now listen to me, young man. Be honest. Did it just taste like a normal drink? Be honest.
It tasted much better than Gatorade. It had more flavour, but Gatorade tastes a lot like water.
Okay, thank you for your input. Back after the ads.
This is Brownie's Podcast.
Hey, welcome back to Brownie's Podcast. I'm in LA. Dog, you're in the Gold Coast. Beautiful. Yeah. John and BP in Melbourne. But here in LA, I went and saw a dirty, gritty stand-up comedy store, which I really love. So you go in there, you get 6 comedians. You feel like you're really in America, you have a few drinks. It's great. But we're at this one down an alleyway, and towards the end of the show, the last comedian, he did a bit of self-deprecating white people jokes, something about white people that was self-deprecating. And then from the back of the room in the corner, this yacked guy goes, "That's racist." And then the guy starts going, "Sorry, mate, what are you talking about?" And then this guy starts fucking flipping out at everyone in the comedy club, like, tell some real jokes. That's racist and all this shit. And everyone's like, whoa, man, what's going on? They're like, you can leave. So his missus is wants to crawl into a hole and die. He walks out of the club swearing at everyone like, you. We thought he was going to his car to buy a gun. Like, I'm glad I snapped a phone book to myself earlier because you got to. No. He comes back and then he starts accusing everyone of being happy that his brother killed himself. Like, it was the wildest shit ever seen.
I don't think he's well, Deano. I don't think he's well. He's Sean, not a well man.
Mate, but it was so cool to see real life, spicy, wild Americans. They just argue with each other willy nilly. It's pretty amazing.
America's the only happy place in America is Las Vegas. That's why I only go to Vegas.
Well, no, we had our own experience though as well. Brown Dog. Remember after the Super Bowl when that guy nearly got shot by about 15 coppers?
Correct. Down Venice Beach, he wouldn't get out of his car and he had a machete. And all these coppers just pulled guns on him. And me and JB were sitting there and I was filming the whole thing. I thought, gee whiz, knowing my luck, I'll be minding my own business here, not a worry in the world about to fly back to Melbourne. I'll cop a stray bullet and get shot. And then the headline would be Brown involved in mass shooting down Venice Beach.
I'm sure everyone would celebrate back here, Dog. It'd be like out the front of Clarendon Street here, Deano. We're out the front of Nova. The coppers, could you imagine the coppers pulling about 10 machine guns, just putting it on a suspect?
Mate, wow.
The only time I've ever been shot at was when I was out the front of Kittens that night.
And that was one of the strippers that you hadn't paid? Is that?
I believe that was Cinnamon.
But anyway, if you like NBA, we got Game 3 tickets to Golden State versus the Lakers.
Oh.
Again, not cheap, but we're going. It's going to be cool.
Got to do it. Got to do it. LeBron versus Steph Curry.
Now, what's this list clogger stuff? I thought the feud had ended between Campbell and Gorringe.
You would think
not Campbell, mate. This is all JB and Gorringe.
Yeah,
I'm just an innocent bystander.
You would think that we have buried the hatchet, and as we've said, they are going to come on the show at some point, but they have re-exposed the wound, and they have had another go at us. So have a listen to this, and it's really spicing up now.
Daniel Gorringe should have never been drafted.
Piss off, you idiot. Browny. Oh, yeah, we have a lot to unpack about Browny.
Is this who said this?
Who said that? Browny said that. Browny said that to me. Wow. Which one?
I haven't fact-checked this.
Well, that's okay. I don't need to. I'll still go at him. Browny said this about me.
I think we're actually going to chat with him later on.
Are we?
So let's
tell
hold
Browny.
No, let's hold.
I'm doing a marathon in his face later.
Dan.
Well, he doesn't run in his face. I'm going to run all over his face,
Now,
the big idiot.
Can I just say, for example, I got a message from on the weekend.
Oh, is it from Browny, the big dumb idiot?
Wow. Okay. Let's just be careful.
He's a big dumb.
Oh, please stop. Now, please stop.
I got you can text. Hello, Dylan. This is Browny.
Oh, this is just not good for you. Oh, I'm not a part of this, by the way.
Yes, you
I
are,
love
mate.
Browny. I'm a massive fan of him. Love everything he's done to the game.
Their producer listens to this podcast flat out as well. So that producer, you're a little as well.
Oh my God, Dan!
Stop being a snitch.
Dan.
Stop being a snitch producer, whatever his name is. I'm coming for him.
Oh my God.
What's his name?
All right, this was Campbell Brown, not Jonathan, said, good banter between podcast, mate. Brody has said he's going to get you boys to come in some stage. How
What's
good.
Brody?
JB and Gorringe face off.
I wouldn't have thought, mate. Wouldn't have thought.
All right.
And there we have it.
Brodes, you got a drive-by.
Mate, I haven't done anything wrong. I've never said anything about him. And now they're coming for me.
You're a loyal listener as well.
Yeah.
Also, Brody has a name, all right? And it's not hard to find his goddamn name.
No,
He's
I
not just
prefer him
some-
unnamed.
Wow. If they were looking at our actual podcast and you're looking for his name and his face, it ain't on there.
Yeah, he's got aspirations. But unfortunately, he just hasn't quite made it there.
Now, I was having this hypothetical thought in my head, right? Obviously, you're a Hall of Fame member, Brownie. Campbell, you're a premiership player and a pretty good player in your time.
AFL 23 legend, thank you.
Yeah,
God.
that's right.
In the computer
what a
game.
quality game
Title.
that is. But if you two, and obviously you're pretty past your prime now, Brownie, your body's pretty well broken, and Campbell, you're a reasonable nick. You've put a little bit of pudding over the last couple of years. But what would happen if, and Gorringe is still in great nick, and Dill Buckley can still run a bit, what would happen in a 2-on-2? Would you win if it was, say, end-to-end and you were playing on Gorringe, because Gorringe is big enough to be a defender, and Campbell and Dill were the midfielders? Who wins that battle?
What, on a full-size field?
Oh, say half a field. Who wins?
Yeah, okay, so how's it going to work? So it's like half-court basketball?
Yeah, half-court basketball, 2-on-2.
Okay, there's going to be a bit of running going on, I would have thought.
There is.
Gorringe might have me covered for the ability to sort of cover the ground over the period of time, but I might be able to bear in the square get him. If you can get the ball up the field, dog, and get it to the top of the goal square, I might be able to go to work, although I've lost my shoulders over the last few years, so I mightn't have as much strength as possible. I'd back myself in a one-on-one wrestle in the goal square, but maybe not on the open field. I think Gorringe might have me.
And I wouldn't be able to get myself up mentally and physically for a game like that doesn't have any 4 points or ramifications. So I don't know how I'd go, JB.
So you're both admitting defeat.
I feel like we've got a lot to lose, Brown Dog, on this one. These young fellas, these young pups trying to make a name for themselves.
Yeah. It's like Tommy the Machine Gun versus Sylvester Stallone in Rocky 5.
Well, we might be able to give them a lesson out there, Dog. We might be able to put ourselves out there, give them a lesson on the footy field, and we might give them a few tips on content as well while we're at it. Kill two birds with one stone.
We're just going to do a good old-fashioned King of the Pack session. 5 kicks only. And you get a point if our podcast wins. That's the only thing that makes it.
Yeah, I like that.
Am I wrong?
That's respect.
Yeah, I think you're right. Pack, what's it called? Markers up, Deano, in your state?
Jack in the Pack.
King of the Pack, brother.
King of the
Jack
Pack.
is called Jack in the Pack.
Jack in the Pack, okay. So how's that going to work? Okay, so we're going to try and work something out.
We'll get him in. We'll confront him face to face. But then, we might go out in the footy field and have you guys settle it the old-fashioned way.
Does Gorringe do more impersonations as well? I'm interested in his catalogue, Deano. He's got some quality stuff so far.
Let's not call them impersonations, because he just started having a stroke when he was pretending to be you. If he can actually give us some great character stuff, I'll be impressed. But that impersonation was dog shit.
He's got a lot of talent. I can't believe he's not on mainstream broadcasting.
Quite a clip. Hey, tell me about this Carlton draft business. What have I missed?
Carlton draft was big. It was Tuesday night where 6 former legends will go about playing for local footy clubs. It's been great. It's the second edition of it. Last year was fantastic with 8 legends, not including Campbell Brown. This year, 6 legends, not including Campbell Brown. We'll be lacing the boots up. And no great surprise, boys. Who did you think would go pick number 1 out of Kane Corns, Bernie Vince, Josh Kennedy, Jordan Lewis, David Mundy, and Nathan Buckley?
I would have gone with Josh Kennedy because he's younger, midfield.
Deano?
Mundy.
Well, you're wrong. You're both wrong. The great Nathan Buckley, obviously for promotional value, hasn't played for 15 years, so I'm not sure what he's going to do on the field. He looks like an Adonis, but that's a calf strain or a torn Achilles waiting to happen in the first minute. But he went number 1 to the Nilmadarnum Bombers near Warrigal, which is fantastic. Then David Mundy came on as number 2. Carnham Linton Saints, that's near Ballarat. Jordan Lewis, surprise at number 3 for Buchan. He'll be a Buchan beauty down there, down East Gippsland. Josh Kennedy came in at number 4, your old teammate Campbell Brown at Murrabit. That's down up near Swan Hill. Bernie Vince for the Maryborough Rovers. And then number 6 coming in last, and this man will get some feedback over the fence, Deano. Kane Corns for Moyston Wallora in the Miniran District League. What a name, Moyston Wallora. So Kane will be up there and he'll have plenty of blokes just lining up to take his head off, I would have thought.
Jonathan, because you are the commissioner, for one of these players, I reckon the Bucks game, can you arrange like a party bus for us to go watch it, have some Carlton drafts, and get some atmosphere? Is he in Victoria, did you say?
Yeah, Bucks is at Nilmadarnum.
The great Nilmadarnum.
That's near Warrigal, which actually wouldn't be too far of a drive from Melbourne.
Oh, that's
It'd be
like
over
an hour
or
outside of
so.
Melbourne.
So we can maybe try and line that up. That'd be fantastic. That's in July, Deano. Now, normally it's supposed to be done by June, but we had to give Bucks an extra month to get ready. So seriously, he has to go out training with some local footy clubs to get himself in shape because, as we know, Brown Dog, the ego takes over and these blokes don't want to go out and embarrass themselves, play well, contribute and hopefully their team wins. Now, remember last year, boys, Daisy Thomas was the only man of those 8 men that played in a winning team. So there were 7 failures and 1 success. So let's hope this year our legends can help their football club actually win the game of football, which is most important.
Dave Mundy could very well have gone on this year and was playing great football toward the end of last year. He will go into a local league and dominate. Mate, he'll have 40 and kick 5.
Yeah, he looks awesome. So he's in great nick, along with... Actually, I just got a text from Jordan Lewis as we speak.
What do you reckon?
He said, why the wasn't I number 1? Have they forgotten that I played in 4 flags? How many did Bucks play in?
Jeez.
Seems a bit harsh from Geordie. Jeez. Mate, we haven't even gone live to air. How did he know we're talking about him? Anyway,
that's probably a chat that was private, Jonathan.
Not anymore.
Hey, Deano, I love your suggestion, though. If maybe we get out to one of the games, ideally we'd love to get out and see Bucks play. But let's see if we can put the wheels in motion there for maybe a trip for our degenerates out there. That'd be fantastic.
I'll tell you what I did see during the week, boys. The top 10 highest paid athletes in the world. Now, I just want to test a bit of your general knowledge, okay? Who would you say off the top of your head would be the highest paid athlete on the planet with 136 million earned?
Michael Jordan would be, but he's retired.
Yes, current players.
I'll go first. Tiger Woods.
Not in the top 10.
Usually a boxer. Is it still Floyd Mayweather?
No.
Not in the top 10.
Rory McIlroy.
No, definitely not. So,
right.
In order, from 10 to 1, okay? 10 to 1. Kevin Durant, 89 million. Roger Federer, 95 million. Steph Curry, $100 million. Phil Mickelson, 106, and Dusty Johnson, 107. That's obviously with Liv coming into effect.
Yep.
Canelo Alvarez, the boxer, 110 million. Then LeBron James, 119 million. Kylian Mbappe, the French soccer player, 120. Lionel Messi, 130. And Cristiano Ronaldo, $136 million still on top of the highest paid athletes. That's outrageous money, isn't it?
Also, Dog, he went to the Saudis. I think that's why he's on that much coin. Like, in terms of his ability now, like he's still amazing. But that's that sweet Saudi money he's getting.
We need to get the podcast sponsored by the Saudis.
All right, next, Waterworld, do not move. It's Brownie's podcast.
This is Brownie's podcast.
This is Brownie's podcast. Big Dog, what do you got for us?
Well,
small dog.
we've just had a good time up in the Goldie Pop Bizzer. My dad and Jackie Brown's grandfather. He's been up there, and Jackie decided to take him out in the tinny the other day, and you have to put a life jacket on. It's one of those life jackets that they're not blown up at the time, so you just have to pull a toggle. So he went out there and on it, and then he came back in. He's just sitting there, me and him were having a beer, and I heard this noise, and I turned around. Dad said, how do you get the life jacket on? Mate, he's sitting there in front of a lot of tourists just walking past. He's accidentally pulled the toggle on his life jacket.
Yes.
Have you seen those ones like the aeroplane life jackets where they say in the safety demonstrations, if you pull the toggle, it's going to blow up and you look like the Michelin Man? So then here's the old man stuck with this life jacket on that he couldn't get off.
Dad.
He's 65 years old. How funny was it, Jackie Brown?
He says, oh no, I slipped. I accidentally pulled the toggle. You can't just slip. You full on got to pull it hard.
So he was lying, is what you're saying.
I think he might have did it on purpose.
For comic effect.
Yeah.
He wanted to see, what does this do? Blew up.
He was like a 10-year-old, wasn't he? Now we've got to go down to Anaconda. It's got to come out of your pocket money because Jackie Brown's got to buy a new oxygen canister to blow up the life jacket.
Coming out of Pop's pocket money.
Yeah, so
all right.
Well, let's have a listen to What a World. You've got to engage listener here, Brown Dog.
Well, clock your ears, Jackie, because this one is unbelievable. What a world. A 24-year-old Somalian was rushed to Erdogan Hospital in Mogadishu. She was sitting on her couch. A stray bullet came through the floor and lodged. Guess where it lodged?
Her backside.
It lodged in her clitoris.
Is it clitoris?
Dead set. She needed to go have surgery. They believe
Hey.
the International Journal of Surgery has reported this. They believe is the first of its kind. A 2-centimetre bullet was removed from her clitoris. It went through her vulva and lodged there perfectly. And they've sent out the photo of it, and it's right there. It must have been an unbelievable shot. It must have been a female sniper too, because most blokes can't find it.
I'm just here to explain to my son that clitoris ran second in
What
the
a world!
1986 Cox Plate.
Now, hey, I'm going to explain to our listeners what just happened. Jackie Brown had the headphones on, and then the sweet kid innocently said to his old man, "Is the clitoris the butt?" And I've never seen anyone rip headphones off quicker.
What a world.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
God.
JB, you should have told me that Jackie was coming in today, and I would have got a new what a world.
Oh, that's.
You're a sick man.
Oh, this podcast has really lost the plot.
All right, I just want to say to all our listeners, thanks for bearing with us. I know we haven't been in the same room and it sounds funny, but we're going to be back full strength very, very soon. Games to look out for. Obviously, the only one you want to see is West Coast versus Richmond at the MCG. Thanks, guys.
I'm doing that game. I think Dusty will tear him apart, no doubt. It's a big one tonight. Lions and the Blues. Can't wait for that. Hopefully my boys will knock over Olivia's team. The Blue Baggers looking all right. Payne and Andrews to play in Kernar and Mackay. That'll be a big matchup. So going to be a great round of football there. Preliminary final matchup on Sunday. The Pies and the Sydney Swans. Pendlebury's back. Warner's back. That'll be great. And Port v Essendon will be a great game as well. So looking forward to the round of football. Have a good weekend, degenerates.
Hey, if Brisbane beat Carlton, your daughter has to sing the Lions theme song on the podcast next week.
I love that, Deano. Great suggestion.
See you, boys. See you,
See you, boys.
degenerates.
See you, mate.